Just a quick disclaimer before we get into the video. I originally planned to release a video about the round of 16 in Monte Carlo just before the first match was going to start for the quarterfinals. However, that didn't quite plan out. So now I'm just going to combine the two. So this will be a combined video of reviewing the round of 16 and quarterfinals in Monte Carlo. So let's get straight into the video. The Monte Carlo round of 16 has been absolutely absurd. Let's get into the day's result. And before we continue with the video, 99% of you guys are not subscribed. So if you enjoy regular tennis content, do me a massive favour and hit that subscribe button. So as I'm recording this currently, they're playing the quarterfinals. However, I'd like to take a brief moment just to summarise what happened the day before. So firstly, we have Musetti versus Djokovic. Djokovic taking that first set. However, he wasn't playing to his usual level, as he was giving up lots of points due to unforced errors and not the kind of consistent Novak you want to see on the lead up to Roland Garros. However, despite the fact that he doesn't really play well during Monte Carlo, as it is his first tournament back for the training in the clay court season, Musetti still took him out in 3 sets, which was a big win for him, and you can see how much it meant to him. And just before the handshake, he was almost in disbelief because he beat the world number 1. And however you want to say it, despite the fact Djokovic wasn't his best, that's still a great win for him. However, he might struggle against Sinner today. Then we have Medvedev versus Zverev, and oh my, Zverev had so many opportunities to finish off this match. He served for it in the second set, he served for it in the third set, he had match points in the third set. It was a poor performance from him. A poor mental performance as well, as he got broken both times serving for the match, and one of them he was broken to love. He lost 4 points in a row on his serve, his top 5 serves in the world, and he lost 4 points on it. I know it is clay, so it is slightly different, but still, how can you be doing that? That was a very poor mental performance from Zverev. And then we even got that nice frosty handshake at the end, which was interesting. Then we found out afterwards that Zverev was unhappy that Medvedev went to the toilet during the set. But if you actually watch the match, you'd realise that Medvedev didn't take any extra time to go to the toilet. He literally sprinted to the toilet and sprinted back in the same time it would have taken to do the changeover. So, and Zverev was like, oh, he's trying to disrupt my rhythm and stuff. However, that evidently wasn't true. He did come across as quite of a salty sore loser. But, if you did blow a match like that, I guess you do have an excuse. But you could have just said that he was upset with the loss rather than trying to make up all these other excuses. Then he also said he was a great sportsman on the court. And to some extent, yes. However, 2022, there was a slight incident with the umpire. I don't know, he might have seen it, he might have not, but Zverev did sound slightly hypocritical there, but oh well. Then we had Casper Ruud being knocked out by Jan-Lennard Struff. Now Ruud is still evidently not as 2022 level, especially on the clay courts, although he did look somewhat decent in Estoril, especially with that win over Sebastian Baez, who is a good clay court player. However, he shouldn't be losing to Struff. Struff is a grass court player. He likes the quick conditions for his big serve. And even though there was a very, very late fight back from Ruud to not be blown out at 6-1, 6-2, he managed to drag that second set into a tie break. He still lost in straight sets, which shouldn't be happening. So yeah, round of 16, Monte Carlo, the Thursday, was an absolutely absurd day for most of the results. Zverev should have taken out Medvedev. Even in Indian Wells, Zverev probably should have beat Medvedev as well, because these two courts do not favour Medvedev. They favour Zverev, because Zverev has, the more top spinny forehand, and the backhand to backhand is very similar as well. So Zverev should have just edged it out, because they're basically the same player. The 6'6" giants going head to head, but those two courts should favour Zverev, and he hasn't been able to do it. Even then, both matches have been close, so this is very good for Zverev's comeback, that he is able to go toe-to-toe with Medvedev, who you would say on form might be the best player in the world. Well, I'm sure Alcaraz and Sinner will have something to say about that. But hopefully Zverev can take confidence away from these two matches, that he is at a top 10 level, and he could go on to win the title soon-ish in clay court season, maybe. I think he'll be happy that Madrid is the next tournament he'll play. I don't know if he'll play Barcelona or not, but he loves the Madrid conditions. Obviously, he won in 2021 against Berrettini in the final. So obviously, big servers love Madrid, despite the fact that Alcaraz won it last year. without having the best serve. So Madrid will be very interesting to see how Zverev performs there, because he, very early on in his career, he was very good at the Masters. So maybe he can improve upon that, as well as the fact that he has the top 5 highest percentage of wins on clay court Master 1000 events, which does show how consistently good he has been. And he needs to just sort out the mental, even the second serve. Every year we always seem to think that Zverev can improve his second serve, yet it never happens. It's just completely mental with him. So he really needs to improve on that mental aspect of the game. So that was the roundup for the round of 16 matches. I'm pretty sure I missed one. I don't know if that was important or not. Who was the matches we missed? I didn't miss some. I missed quite a few. So Sinner took out Hurkacz, Rublev took out Kachanov, Tsitsipas took out Jarry, and Fritz took out Lehechka, and then Berrettini also withdrew due to an injury. Another injury concern there for Berrettini, however. He's so injury prone that he can never build up any form. Despite the disappointing showings in Acapulco, he lost to Holger Rune, without winning a game. And now he has a oblique tear, so very unlucky for Berrettini. Hopefully he's good to play in Madrid. You never know. Then all the other ones, pretty straightforward wins. I mean, Sinner has so much more power than Hurkacz off the ground that it was difficult to see Hurkacz turning that around. Maybe if it was a slightly quicker hard court like it was in Miami 2021, then Hurkacz could have got the victory. Then again, he did go very close with Jack Draper in the previous round. Yeah. And then Rublev got the better of Kachanov. And yeah. So there you go. That was all the results covered for you there. Now moving on to the quarterfinals in Monte Carlo. And these ones certainly did not disappoint. Firstly, we'll get off with the slightly less interesting matches. So Rublev beat Struff. I don't think that's a surprise because Struff is, like I said before, mostly a grass court player. So any bonus points and prize money he could get from these clay court tournament now when he's in good form is just a bonus for him. And then the Sinner Lorenzo Musetti match, the Battle of the Italians. Now, I do think that the way Musetti was playing against Djokovic, despite the fact he did beat Djokovic was not at a high level, so I thought that Sinner would have no trouble dispatching Lorenzo Musetti, despite the fact I was kind of rooting for Musetti to have a good match against Sinner. But, of course, he got blown out of the water 6-2, 6-2, so not much to say about those. However, now we move on to Tsitsipas getting defeated by Taylor Fritz. As you can see, Taylor Fritz definitely focused on going to the backhand. Steph's weakness is his one-handed backhand. Thus, he could not win the trifecta of Monte Carlos, winning 3 in a row, which would have been quite extraordinary. But, yeah, he got outclassed today by the better player who is more consistent, as well as despite the fact Taylor Fritz doesn't have the best movement on clay, he was still able to use his, very good backhand and his forehand. Powerful, dangerous, all of those words to counteract the weapons of Tsitsipas, not allowing Tsitsipas to get his signature forehands or inside-out, inside-in forehands, and definitely Fritz targeted that backhand. Again, another great win in straight sets, defeating the double defending champion. And then for the final match, it was Holger Rune defeating Medvedev. Again, Zverev should have probably dispatched Medvedev in the last round, as I said earlier on in this video. However, take nothing away from Holger stopping Medvedev from reaching another final. This ends Medvedev's run of 5 finals in a row, winning 4 of them, obviously. But Medvedev couldn't take it to the clay court season, that red-hot form. Although he's still playing at an extremely high level, clay is not really his forte, I guess, despite the fact he did beat Djokovic here in 2019. So make of that what you will, because that was very weird Monte Carlo, but still, Holger Rune took out Medvedev. Again, using his great clay court game, being ultra-aggressive along the baseline. As you saw against Thiem, he barely missed. Same thing happening in today. His ground strokes were so deadly, and Medvedev couldn't just produce that same kind of magic that he did against Zverev to get him out of those situations. So those were the Monte Carlo quarterfinals. Now tomorrow on Saturday is the semi-finals, where we have the 5 through 8 seeds, which is quite a surprise. I'm not sure the last time that's happened in a Masters 1000, where the top 4 seeds lose, but the other top 8 seeds get through. So we have Rune versus Sinner, the battle of the young guns. I do think Rune could beat Sinner here, just because Rune is very good on clay. It seems quite a while ago, especially because his form on the indoor hard courts, but he did beat Tsitsipas on clay. And I know Tsitsipas, he did change his equipment, so he was kind of bothered by the equipment last Roland Garros, but take nothing away from Rune's performance. He was a very good clay court player, and I do think he could give Sinner a lot of trouble, so I might pick Rune to go through in 3. Then we have Taylor Fritz versus Rublev, and obviously Taylor Fritz leads that head-to-head 4-2, I believe it is. So therefore, I do see a straight sets win for Taylor Fritz here, because he did play very well against Tsitsipas, and Tsitsipas did beat Rublev at Monte-Carlo 2 years ago, so maybe Fritz can reach another Masters 1000 on clay, which I don't think many people would have expected. But yeah, so maybe a Rune Fritz final, that's what I'm predicting. So that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care and peace.